Hey, what's up y'all? David here, and today I am making a video that I never thought I would make. Blech, ever. And there's a reason why that I never thought I would make it. First of all, I'm terrified to talk about this. I tried to record this like 4 times already and I just can't. I just keep choking on my words and then I get confused. And that's because I'm terrified, and I'm still terrified as I record this. So, as you've seen from the title of this video, it says, coming out again, I'm polyamorous. And that's exactly what this video is about, me coming out as polyamorous. And if you saw my music video, my secrets music video, I had a paper that said I'm bisexual and polyamorous. And I think some people might not have noticed, or they just don't know what polyamorous is, and I'm gonna explain it. So polyamorous means multiple love. The root words poly and amorous. That's multiple love, or being able to love multiple people. And what that means is that I am able to be in love with more than just one person. I don't know how many I can love. I know it's at least 2. I think after that, it's just too difficult to manage, really, all those people. But for me, I think 3 is the magic number. Whenever I see couples or anything like that, I don't feel like that's what I would want. I feel like it's incomplete. For me, 3 pieces make a relationship, not 2, which I know sounds bizarre, and who knows, it could even be 4, but let's not push it. It's difficult enough with 3 people, or when I'm dating 2 people, which I've done before. I dated a guy and a girl before at the same time, and I'm gonna make a video on that in the future, but I thought that this video had to come out first, so people would know that I'm polyamorous. Otherwise it would just be confusing, right? So I discovered I was polyamorous the hard way, and that was by being in monogamous relationships and feeling extremely unhappy and anxious about it. So my first relationship was with a dude, and we were very much in love. We were best friends. We had a great time together, and what really caused us to break up was my polyamory, and it really sucked because I didn't realize that I was polyamorous till after we got attached and started loving each other. It was my first relationship. I didn't know. So, about 6 months into the relationship, the feelings that I had from the start, which I thought were supposed to go away when you fell in love to date other people, those feelings never went away. And after about 6 months, I was like, something is wrong. Something's wrong, and I started to have these doubts, but I kept it to myself for a few more months because I just couldn't really talk about that. I felt so guilty. I felt disgusting. I felt like a terrible person, and I didn't understand what these feelings were. I wanted to date guys, I wanted to date girls, and at first I was thinking, well, you know what, maybe this is because this is my first relationship and I'm just not ready to settle down. And eventually I learned that that's not the case. I'm just polyamorous, as ridiculous as that sounds, and I don't think it's a phase. I just think that I'm destined to be with more than one person. I believe everybody has more than one soulmate, and some people end up being with one of those soulmates that they discover. But for me, I'm not happy with that. I want to at least have 2 soulmates, and I want to have more people to love. From the moment that I was a kid, I was just in love with love. In kindergarten, I had a hardcore crush on this girl named Jerry. I just had all these hardcore crushes, and my feelings were so intense, and I didn't really know what that meant. I think I'm a very emotional and sensitive person, and I just think that I have a big heart, to put it nicely. And I didn't like I said, I didn't realize, just like I didn't realize that I was bisexual till I was like 18 or 19. I didn't realize that I was polyamorous till I was like 19 or 20. And that really was difficult because I had just discovered, hey, I like guys and girls. And then not only that, I realized that I cannot and will not be happy in a conventionally monogamous relationship with one person. And that caused me so much trouble. And like I said, in my first relationship, I started noticing these feelings, and I would isolate myself in my dorm room, and I wouldn't talk to anybody or make any friends because I was terrified of looking at someone and being attracted, or getting to know someone and starting to create a deep spiritual connection, because that would turn into something else for me. So I was just terrified, and I had no friends. I thought the only friend that I could have was my relationship, and that was extremely unhealthy because I only hung out with my relationship because I was too terrified to meet other people. and it started eating at me more and more every day. So I finally brought it up to him and I was like, hey, can I date guys? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, can I date girls? You'll be my only guy. And he was like, well, I'm gonna think about that. And he thought about it, and he thought about it for a day, and you know, it was pretty much an ultimatum that I gave him. He decided to break up with me, and he made the right choice, because I can't force someone who's monogamous to be polyamorous like me. And I didn't really realize that it was a type of sexual orientation as well. You know, people say that there's a spectrum for gay and straight, and then like everything in between, and then there's asexual and stuff like that. But there's also a spectrum for monogamy and polyamory. You know, I totally believe that 100%. I believe some people can be strictly monogamous, I believe some people could be in the middle, and I believe some people could be super polyamorous. I would say I'm pretty polyamorous, like double P, pretty polyamorous. Like, yeah, super polyamorous. So I'm like 100% sure at this point that I'm polyamorous. And it was a struggle to really accept that, because for some reason I was attracted to monogamous people for the most part, because I was jealous. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was so jealous to think that I could share my partner, but it's something that I had to learn to be okay with, because I can't expect to be allowed to date multiple people and not give that same privilege to my partners or partner. And it really sucked, and I felt, like I said, I felt so guilty, and I had to lose so many people that I was in love with because they couldn't share me, even though I was willing to share their love with other people, if that makes sense. And you know, I didn't really realize what was best for me, and I'm still not sure what's best for me. You know, I still have a lot to figure out, but I'm just so happy that I finally figured out that I'm polyamorous. And like I said, I was terrified to make this video. I never thought I would make this video, because when people think of polyamory or dating multiple people, they think of polygamy and like the religious connotations and all the negative stuff associated with polygamy and the harams and having multiple wives and all this stuff like that. And that's not at all where I come from, where polyamory comes from in my heart. For me, polyamory is just having a deep and spiritual and romantic connection with multiple human beings at the same time. That really is what it is in my heart. And to me, it's just being able to unlock more colors of the rainbow and having a more complete rainbow. Just like, you know how there's 3 basic colors? There's blue, there's yellow, and there's red. For me, couples are like a blue and a yellow, but where's the red? You don't see the full spectrum of color if you can combine those 3 primary colors. And that's exactly how I feel. I feel like something's missing when it's just 2 people. When it's 3 people, I feel like I get the whole rainbow. As gay as that sounds. And like I said, oh, it was so hard for me to have to lose people. And in my past relationship, it was another monogamous person, and I sort of had to, like, you know, I told him from the start, hey, I'm monogamous, but he didn't really accept that. He thought that, oh, hey, once he falls in love with me, his attraction for other people will go away, and he won't want to have romantic connections with other people, which didn't happen at all. And it was my longest relationship over, it was a year, a little over a year. And those feelings never went away at all, ever. And that was difficult, because I tried to get him to be okay with an open relationship. I tried to date other people at the same time, with his permission, of course, with his consent, but he really just agreed to that because he didn't want to lose me, and that really sucked. During my last relationship, I dated a girl at the same time as I dated him, and that was very toxic, and I'm going to talk about that in a future video. I really want to open up about that experience, so if there's anybody else who feels the same way that I feel and didn't even know that this existed, well, hey, it exists, I'm right here. And if you feel the same way, don't feel guilty about yourself. I hated myself. I felt so broken. I felt so selfish. I felt so guilty, and I couldn't live with myself. I thought I would never find love. I always thought of getting married, of having a family, of finding that one special person. I would daydream, I would night dream, I would think about it all the time, just I can't wait till I meet my special someone. And then I realized, hey, maybe I have a special maybe I have 2 special people. Who knows? I feel like that's what I want. At this point in my life, I feel like what I want is to be in a throuple. And what's a throuple? A throuple is 3 people in a relationship together. And for me, I really want to be ethical about it. I want things to be equal. I want everybody to, I don't want there to be jealousy. I want things to just be natural and feel right. And that's my goal at the moment, and that's what I hope I can get in the future, and I think that's what would make me happy. I'm not sure if my feelings and attractions for other people would minimize. I think it would minimize. I don't know if let's be real, they're not gonna go away. But I feel like that's like the ideal type of relationship for me. Like I said, you need red, yellow, and blue to get the full rainbow, right? Well, I need those colors. So that's my video. That's me coming out as polyamorous. I have so many stories to tell. So many stories to tell, and I'm so excited to talk about this and really just be honest about myself. I'd already told some of my friends and they were shocked. And a lot of people look at me and I already have to deal with the stereotypes from bisexuality. People think I'm a liar, people think I can't make decisions, people think I'm selfish. Now with polyamory, people are gonna think I'm even more selfish. People are gonna think I have issues. Well, I do have issues, but that's a different story. And it's just gonna be so difficult, and I'm honestly terrified. I had to take like an hour break to re-record this video because I just couldn't talk about it. It was driving me nuts. I was terrified, and I'm terrified to post this video because who knows what people are gonna say. When I was on YouTube looking for people who could feel the same way as I did, there weren't very many examples, if I'm being completely honest. I think this is more of a new subject that a lot of people are uncomfortable to talk about. I think it's super taboo. And like I said, people don't talk about it. At least here in America, there's this one show that I fell in love with because it was one of the few shows that I could relate to. And it's called You, Me, Her. It's available in Netflix Canada and Netflix UK, I believe. But not Netflix America. I guess America isn't ready for polyamory, which makes me sad because I'm a polyamorous person and there isn't very many people for me to look up to who I can relate to, which is why I'm making this video. If anybody feels the same way, I want you to know that you're not broken. You don't need to feel so guilty. You just need to do it the right way and keep into account your partner's feelings. And that's what I had to learn to do. And I didn't do that the first few times. I really screwed up and I was selfish. And I've learned my lessons, and I learned that everybody needs to go at the same pace and everybody needs to be comfortable and everybody needs to want it. If they don't, sayonara, it's not gonna work out. And yeah, I'm so excited to talk about that stuff. I like to think of myself as Superman. Like, you know how Superman has two hearts? I feel like Superman in a way because I feel like I have two hearts. And I can still be in love with someone and my other heart will still want that connection with someone else. I mean, obviously I have one physical anatomical heart. But like, love-wise, I feel like I have two hearts, if that makes sense. If I were a superhero, you could call me Super Love. Never mind, Shane Dawson already took that identity for his superhero, so never mind. But that's pretty much it. Please be nice. If anybody comments, please accept me for who I am. I know the world is terrified of what's different, and once what's different becomes more normal, it's no longer taboo, it's no longer disturbing, it's no longer ugh. And all the comments that I saw from YouTube videos discussing polyamory were like, oh, this is the devil's work, oh, this person's so selfish, oh, this is gonna fail, oh this, oh that. And to me it's like, no, no, no. If it's consensual, if it's fair, if everybody is happy, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. So I am finally at a point where I can admit this to not only me, but to my family and my friends and my viewers. I'm bisexual, I'm polyamorous, I'm a dude, I'm proud of it. There's nothing wrong with it, and I know a lot of people might not agree with me, and to that I say, if you have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. Just kidding. That's fine, you have your own opinion, but this is me, this is my life, and I just really wanted to share it with you guys. And like I said, if there's anyone else out there who feels the same way, you are not alone, and we can find love together. That's the end of my video. If you'd like to give it a big old thumbs up, and for YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already, and for Instagram video, follow my Instagram if you haven't already. So that's it. Goodbye, y'all.